Do You Dare Me to Cross the Line by Michael Clarke. Truth or dare? Rachel shouts when the partied-out conversation dies down for a few embarrassing seconds. We're all staring glassy-eyed, wondering how in hell's name this group of half a dozen ironically half-cut hipsters has rocked up in my lounge at 4 in the morning. Actually, I know damned well while we're here, being the guy owning this loft apartment, a spaced-out stumble from the Hoxton dive bar strip. The artists like to slag off the tech set, saying we're drawn to Silicon Roundabout like flies around a decomposing Damien Hirst cow's head, pricing out who they call the real creatives. But it's all peace and harmony when they realise you've got this cool place on the coolest street, and they soon invite themselves to dance all night, smoke, or drop whatever us starry-eyed fools will let them. And Rachel, my gallerista girlfriend, is that habit I can't kick. Shit, no, I say. The last time I woke up 2 days later not knowing how the hell I got this on my arm. I point to the tattoo on my bicep. Rachel's idea of a cosmic angel. It's cool, Anya says. She comes close, traces the swirling inky lines with her finger like a maze. And I start to warm to her, thinking she's not such a parasitic pain in the ass. She's a mate of Rachel's, hung out here a couple of times before. She's a photographer, but I wouldn't need to tell you that if you saw how she's constantly whipping out her digital SLR. She snapped all kinds of abstract banalities tonight. Rachel's earlobe, sweat marks on my running top, a distressed brick. Fucking weird. She turns up with this guy, Nick. A bushy beard, thick-rimmed specs, the whole uniform. Posy git. I thought they were together, but with artists, who knows? So Rachel grabs the almost dead wine bottle from the table, drains the last of the Pinot, and starts spinning it. We're all sat in a circle on the artfully mismatched furniture she's salvaged for me. Chintzy sofas, a church pew, and even an old dentist's chair. No one's heart is in the game. A few faux embarrassing truths, a cliched dare, a girl with black lipstick whose name I don't know gives a bottle of craft beer a blowjob that's so half-heartedly mechanical it's like she's saying to the three guys there, I'm too wrecked to even think about it. The bottle points at Anya. Truth. I got my first from art school for shooting nudes. Anya fixes me with a stare. Male nudes. She takes out her iPhone as if we were interested in proof and shows some black and white images of ripped torsos. Nick takes an even greater interest than Rachel. Maybe he and Anya aren't an item. Everybody goes cool or sick, but I'm thinking, is that such a big deal for a photographer? Anya spins the bottle and its neck points right at me. Dare! Rachel says. Sure, I say, warily inspecting the personal hygiene of the other two guys, anticipating some kind of lame metrosexual mansnog Rachel's dared me with before. Pose for Anya! Rachel says. Piss off is my initial reaction. Then, what? Now? Here? Why not? She's brought a camera, and it'd be cool to have a photo of you like that on my iPhone. Proof that you're probably the only web developer in East London with a six-pack. Rachel runs her hand over my stomach in the way that promises a morning of hardcore action in bed once her hangers-on are out of the door. I slightly warm to the idea. I do look after myself, and though I work out, I'm not always going to be able to wriggle into a pair of skinny jeans. And it is my 30th birthday coming up, she says, echoing my anxieties. Well, if Anya's up for doing it, I say, half hoping Anya will decline. I'd be delighted, she says, smiling. But I'm not taking some pseudo-porno selfies. I need to add some artistic integrity. A team for me to work with. And somewhere private to shoot. Somewhere private? I'm starting to wonder about this, but I'm not going to back down from this dare. Just pinning my hopes on Rachel being, I guess, possessive. But it's not happening. Use the kitchen, Rachel says. He spends more time there than in front of his Mac. Cool, says Anya. Done, I say, with brittle bravado and spin the bottle again. It points to Rachel. Dare! Group dare, she says. That's her individual twist on the rules and shows even she's bored of this bloody stupid game. She slams a fistful of pills on the table. Everybody except Anya and me grabs one or more and leaps up as Rachel cranks the jungle, screaming something about dancing till dawn in Nick's ear. And I realise how friendly she's been with him all night. So, where's the kitchen? Anya asks, fingers clasping around her lens. The kitchen diner's tucked around a corner from the lounge. Rachel's right. I hang out there more than I realise. This is my territory, and the lounge hers. Its stripped pine floors are now being pounded by spaced-out feet. So you cook? Anya asks, tailing me. Before I get a chance to answer, she closes the door behind her, and I'm wondering why Rachel's not followed us here too. Is this some trust thing? I mean, Anya's a cute girl, but she's no Rachel. Can't stand that fucking noise either, Anya adds. She surveys the shining stainless steel, looking at the pans and utensils hanging from the ceiling. And I properly notice her eyes for the first time. Wide, blue, long-lashed. She's a slight figure, dressed down in black with close-cropped hair. But a girl with a tongue stud's not normally my kind. Maybe it's the booze or the situation. But I'm starting to find her more attractive than I should. Are you sure you want to do this? I ask. I've let you escape your dare. Rachel would kill me. She's obviously given the theme some thought and goes on, I'm thinking we do contrasts. Given the theme, a human body, food, sensuality, right? A knife's steel blade against skin, the soft texture of steak pressed into hard bony rib, shimmering oil spread on tight, tense muscle. You got anything in here that would help with that? She speaks with an intensity that has me obediently raiding the kitchen drawers. While she's fixing her camera settings, I search the cupboards, lay out the knives from my block and raid the fridge for fresh ingredients. She seems pleased when I pull out this kick-ass beef rib I'd hustled for Sunday from the farmer's market. My heart's pounding now. The situation's starting to arouse me. I know that's not a good thing, but my discomfiture makes it worse. I'm not sure if I can do this, and I'm hoping, and not hoping, Rachel's going to stop dancing and join us. You can take your clothes off if you dare, Anya says. I enthusiastically slip off my sneakers, discard my socks, and unfasten my shirt, slowing as I reach the bottom buttons. I undo my belt and step warily out of my jeans. And then I fold and unfold my trousers several times before I finally place them over a dining chair. Anya stands there watching me in my Calvin Kleins, looking me up and down with what I take to be the eye of a professional photographer. She purses her lips, smiles, nods as if she seems to consider her plans for the shoot. And most of all, she waits. I'm feeling sized up like an object, uncomfortable, wondering how I'm shaping up against all those first-class nudes she's photographed for her degree. But at the same time, feeling like an impersonal commodity, the meat for the shoot, is making me embarrassingly horny. Was wondering, I say, can I do this wearing my pants? I run behind the island hob to open the fridge, pull out a string of organic sausages, and twirl them around my neck. A kind of comedy gambit that gives me an oblique way out. Let's make it light-hearted. I don't do light-hearted, Anya says. And I hate sausages. So, sausages are out? I ask, standing behind the hob. I never met a daring sausage. Can you give me 5 or 10 minutes just to sort of relax into the idea of it? I ask, taking another tack. She waits, camera in hand. I lower my voice. Anya, I've got a bloody huge hard-on. You mentioned the elephant in the room, she says, laughing. I thought we might be able to, you know, pretend it wasn't there. I'm a professional. I've worked with many nude guys, although mortals don't usually present themselves in your state. But I've got no problem with it. No problem at all. I hear the dull beat of Rachel's hypnotic dance music pulsing in the background and realise there is no way out. Okay, let's do it. I slip my hands either side of my waistband and ease the trunks down my legs. I inhale slowly and deeply and stare down as the pants hit the floor. And then I step right in front of her. Anya doesn't look away, maybe takes a deep breath herself. But she stares for what feels like half the rest of my life. And I feel exposed, revealed, awkward. But then somehow liberated when she eventually smiles. And then Anya places her camera down and pulls off her t-shirt and then her jeans. What the fuck are you doing? I ask, now hoping to hell that Rachel doesn't walk in. But then Rachel dared me, right? It's the way I work, she says, slipping out of her underwear with none of my agonising self-consciousness. I insist on sharing the vulnerability of the situation with my subjects. And you see that trust in the photographs. But this one, you're also going to see this in the photos, I say, pointing below my waist. Is that professional? I'll work around it, she says. Trust me. And I stare hard at her naked body, her pierced nipples, her tattoos, and her natural, unshaved pubes. I get exactly what she means. And now I'm totally in this girl's hands. She takes dozens of photos, directs me in poses. I feel sparks when she leads me by the arm. She comes close, and I catch the aroma of her hair, the heaviness of her breathing, and I'm wondering if she's aroused too. But I remind myself that we've stayed just about on the professional side of the line. This is all about a late-night dare I didn't back down from. But I'm starting to want her. She kneels beside me, camera gazing upwards, and her head's a professional 6 inches away from my waist, and I'm setting myself a dare of my own now. A move of my hips and an encouraging palm placed to the back of her head, and I might be changing my opinions on girls with tongue studs forever. And I think, even if I'm right about Anya, what if Rachel walks through the door? If we cross that line? How she'd yell it was the end of us. But then I remember how she'd yelled the same at me last week, and how she'd been so eager to dance with Nick. And the realization starts to hit me that this dare might be one huge setup. I look into Anya's eyes, and I see her stare back at me and moisten her parted lips as if waiting for a cue, and think, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Anya, don't make me wait any longer, I say to myself. I close my eyes and wait and wait. And the throbbing music fades away. And then I hear the shutter rattle on the SLR.